To all my friends present, past and beyond, especially those who weren't with us too long. Life is the most precious thing you can lose. While you were here, the fun was never ending. Life a minute was only beginning. Captain Corbin Nichols, this one's for you! To all my friends present, past and beyond, especially those who weren't with us too long. Life is the most precious thing you can lose. While you were here, the fun was never ending. Life a minute was only beginning. Captain Corbin Nichols, this one's for you!
Starting lineup for Atletico St. Louis: Joshua Sagna, Daniel Dixon, Nicholas Justiniano, Nadim Trajlia, Ian Drake, Zach Renz, Carter Von Butzer, Parker Smith, Kyler Silvera, Connor Lovell, Mateus Pereira da Silva, head coach Ricardo Garza. Here's your starting lineup for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Number 0, Augie Hornard. Zachariah Deao. Taylor Pill, number 4. Number 12, Jamie Laclamti. Number 17, Alejandro Martinez. Number 18, Davis Nelson. Number 20, Brandon Kopp. Number 23, Max Ludwig. Number 25, Jay C. Bailey. Number 36, Paco Piscaya. Number 40, Noah Corrigan. Head coach of the FC Milwaukee Torrent, James Weber and Jeff Pill.
Please rise. And now, to honor America and all that it stands for, as well as our freedom and those who serve to protect it, the playing of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome out to Hart Park for this NPSL matchup. FC Milwaukee Torrent hosting Club Atletico out of St. Louis. My name is Simon Provan. So thankful to have you with us. Props to our substitute PA man, Mike Justman, a rookie up in the booth, doing a great job announcing that starting 11. It's been a beautiful day here in Milwaukee, or more precisely, Wauwatosa. But taking a look at the weather right now, we're at about 68 degrees. Slight wind. We'll see if that affects the game at all as both teams get their starting 11 photos. And speaking of that wind, we got gusts that are about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Could have some effect, but shouldn't have much, but we shall see. Well, this should be a good matchup. In fact, St. Louis's only win on the year so far has been against FC Milwaukee Torrent. And as we take a look at the standings, although Club Atletico got the better of FC Milwaukee Torrent in their sole win on the season, the Torrent are just one place ahead and 1 point ahead in the overall standings. Now, that's thanks to the fact that the Torrent have drawn 2 games, while St. Louis has lost 3. Well, taking more specifically a look at those records, FCMT 1 win, 2 draws, 2 losses. St. Louis 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. So I was saying the draws, but it actually is the losses that make a difference. My apologies for the confusion there. But yes, FC Milwaukee Torrent, 5th place out of 8 teams. Atletico St. Louis, 6th place out of 8 teams. And we are just about to get underway here at Hart Park. Your center referee today, national licensed referee, as of this year, Mr. Ryan Shanklin. He is very familiar with Hart Park. He's done a number of games here. The AR to our near side here, Ryan Birdsall, and AR on the far side, Josh Vesti. And your 4th official, Dan Hasko. So we are in good hands with the men in green, Torrent in blue, going from right to left, St. Louis. Although they are the Bluebirds, they are wearing their red and yellow today. And St. Louis looking for an early attack. Torrent have given up early goals in all but 1 game this season. They do well to thwart that attack and look to make their first chance at the St. Louis goal. Very patient play here early on from the Torrent. Ball sent long, but handled well. Lovell on the ball, goes to ground right in front of Shanklin. Easy call for our center referee to make. Torrent have played in a number of different conferences during their first existence, their first year of existence. Played in a division with Minnesota teams and Chicago teams, and then for a few years after that, basically played in a league that was the Torrent, along with several Michigan teams and 1 or 2 Ohio teams, and actually FC Indiana was in that as well. And after winning their conference once, then the Torrent moved into a different division last year with a few of the teams in the Gateway Conference. And now here they are in an 8-team conference, first year officially in this conference. Although, like I said, very familiar teams from last year. Torrent with an opportunity early on in the box. This one will be kept in. Martinez on the ball for Milwaukee on the far side. Ball played back. Number of familiar names on this Torrent roster. Both your captains, Taylor Pill and Max Ludwig, veterans on this team. Ball played into the corner once again. Martinez sends this one in at the 6. Shot well over the goal from Piscaglia. Paco also having been with the Torrent for at least a couple of years. Pereira da Silva, goalkeeper for St. Louis. Officially his first touch of this game will be off of this goal kick as he sends this straight into the center circle. High energy here early on, only in the 4th minute of play. Ludwig plays this to Comte. Back to Comte, the ball goes. Nice touch to the outside. Ludwig trying to get down this near side line, not able to do so. However, he does win a throw-in for the Torrent. Ball top of the box, opportunity here. Piscaglia just over the goal. Well, Torrent, lots of energy early on. A good change of pace from this team. I had mentioned earlier they have given up early goals all season long. In fact, even their last game, which was against Geos out of Chicago, Torrent spotted 3 goals to the Geos before finally waking up. Saw the same thing against Des Moines United. Both of those games, Des Moines went up early. Now, those games against Des Moines did end up in draws. The first one 2-2, the second one 3-3. But that game against Geos, although the Torrent were able to tie things up 3-3 late in the game, even later in the game, the Geos, in the 90th minute, found a game-winning goal for that game to finish 4-3. And certainly one thing we have seen from the Torrent on both sides of the ball, lots of goals scored, but lots of goals given up as well. Torrent have numbers. And actually, just as I say that, the red and yellow are able to get just enough players back. St. Louis wanting a call there from Shanklin, claiming that Comte came in with his boots up. Studs up, I should say. Nice play there from Deu. Sagnon doing well defensively for St. Louis just to shield that ball and have it go out of bounds. Torrent playing a very high line here in the first half in the opening minutes of this game. Just trying to apply a lot of pressure on this St. Louis team. Now, the last time these teams met, Atletico did come out ahead in a 3-2 win. That was in St. Louis exactly 1 week ago. That game was scoreless until the 38th minute. And Rafael Kistman ended up scoring the first goal of the game and would later score the game-winning goal. So a brace for him on that day. Good news for Torrent fans. Kistman is not here for this one today. Was not able to make the travels. Always a tough travel day right around Father's Day for any squad in the NPSL. Yes, a lot of college players, but also a lot of young dads in this league. Much rather be home with their kids, and rightfully so, having priorities, at least in my opinion, in the right place. Clock ticks over to the 8th minute of play. Da Silva plays this one out to his right back. Sagnon on the ball. Plays it up to Drake, who quickly touches it back. Ball goes all the way back to Dixon. Dixon plays this across. Smith plays it to the outside. Ball coming back. Dixon with a one-touch up the field to Van Buskirk. Now out to Renz. Renz, your captain for Atletico. Shot. No trouble there for Warnad in the end. My apologies, Warnad. It's been a while since I have done a men's game for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Last year exclusively calling games for the women's team. Of course, all the seasons before that, I was doing both the men's and women's games, but had a very busy schedule last summer. Thankfully, was able to split duties with Scott Wegner. And Wegs, if you are listening, we hope you are doing well. But nice to come back and see some NPSL action. If you're just tuning in, score is 0-0. Beautiful day here in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Opportunity here now for the Torrent. Nelson on the ball, plays it across, off the post. That was Kopp hoping to finish that one off. He'll look back at that one later and want it, but Torrent still with this ball. Kopp in utter disappointment. Did the right thing of taking the one touch, hoping to put that in the back of the net, but just a little too far to his right. Off the post it comes. But again, Torrent still pressuring now with a corner kick. Taylor Pill, one of your co-captains for the Torrent, on corner kick duties. Corner sent in right to the top of the 6. Will this count? And absolutely it does for the Milwaukee Torrent. That is a goal! Alejandro Martinez, 10th minute goal for Milwaukee. Well, I'll tell you what, St. Louis stopped playing. Torrent kept playing to the whistle. You are told that as a youth player. That is Soccer 101. Torrent finally the ones to score an early goal on the year. Again, officially in the 10th minute of play. Alejandro Martinez with the first goal of the game. And the first time the Torrent lead a game 1-0. A lot of high energy. Still, Ludwig trying to play a fancy back heel almost. Looking for Piscaglia. Doesn't work out for them, and instead, Justiniano, well, had the ball momentarily for St. Louis. Sagnon in a foot race. He wins that one, beating Deo to the ball. And now De Silva playing this right back, but instead, that'll be Comte on the ball for Milwaukee. Comte loses it, but ball still at the top of the 18. Once again, another opportunity for the Torrent. Kopp with the ball, lines up his left foot, takes a shot, bounces off the defender, and now St. Louis looking for a counterattack. Don't have the numbers, but certainly have the speed at the moment. This ball played out to Drake. Drake on this near side takes a look up, plays it back in the middle to Renz. Renz up to his attacking midfielder. Ball on the outside. Misplayed there as Kopp intercepts that for Milwaukee, plays this up to Dayu. Dayu playing it back. St. Louis with a little bit of high pressure. Siraj Leah, number 9, your striker for St. Louis today. Corrigan with the ball. Turns back. safely decides to play it back to Kopp. Well, one exciting thing we are seeing from the Torrent, Kopp lined up defensively, but playing more like an 8, your box-to-box midfielder. In the past, we've seen that from Ludwig. Opportunity here for St. Louis. Nice fake, and now a shot! That will be a goal kick for Milwaukee. Shot taken by Kyler Sorber. You may be able to hear some of this wind now in my microphone. Wind coming across the field towards us in the press box, just to give you an idea of how it might affect this ball when that ball is in the air. So it doesn't favor one team or the other when it comes to any player or any team having to play with the wind at their back. But if you are a goal scorer, if you got a nose for finding the net, certainly could take advantage using this across the field wind. Well, Torrent up 1-0 after Martinez got a goal off of a corner kick in the 10th minute of play. St. Louis looking to at least find an opportunity for an equalizer. This one in the box, headed out by the Torrent. Now touched by Van Buskirk. Ball goes out of bounds. This will be a throw-in for Milwaukee. Well, your co-head coaches for Milwaukee are Jeff Pill and James Weber. Weber's name should sound familiar to Torrent fans as he played with the club for several years. Sporting at number 99 when he did play. An opportunity for the Torrent. No, says St. Louis. And head coach for Atletico St. Louis is Ricardo Garza. Just taking a look back at some of these goals that the Torrent have given up, repeatedly getting themselves in tough holes to dig out of. Talked about that first game against St. Louis, scoring or giving up 2 goals against St. Louis, clawing back to that 2-2 draw and eventually giving up the game itself in the 87th minute. I'd mentioned those draws against Des Moines, but I'd like to point out how the Torrent gave up 2 goals early on in those games. In the first one, it was the 6th minute and the 17th minute. Finally, the Torrent waking up and getting a goal of their own. But just like in the first half, in the second half, they gave up an early PK within a minute of the second half. But then the Torrent did something they've also been repeating this year, scoring bunches of goals in a very short timeline. In that game, they scored 2 goals within 3 minutes to equalize. Talked about how they gave up 3 goals against Geos. And then within a 4-minute span from the 77th minute to the 81st minute, they scored 3 goals, the Torrent. You almost wonder in that game if they felt complacent, almost as if they accomplished the comeback. I say that because in the 90th minute, Torrent ended up giving a game-winning goal to Geos, losing that game 4-3. And that's, up until today, that has been the story of the season for the Torrent. They giving up early goals, getting in a hole, then scoring goals in bunches, finding a way to equalize, but then also giving late game-winning goals away. In fact, in their lone win this year against Belleville, they ended up winning that game 6-2, but Belleville got on the board first in the 11th minute. So the latest that the Torrent have given up a goal is the 38th minute. I should say latest that they've given up the first goal of the game. So already pointing in a much more positive direction. Martinez getting a goal in the 10th minute of play. We are now in the 18th minute. Ball's out of bounds. Throw in for St. Louis, much to the dismay of Davis Nelson. Segnon electing to go backwards with this one. Dixon plays it across. Ball played forward, player deemed to be onside, sent across. This will go out for a goal kick. Parker Smith wearing number 17 for St. Louis, getting very involved when that ball gets near the top of the 18. Torrent taking their time as Shea Bailey got a touch. Played that in the middle, and now Torrent looking for another opportunity. Player slips in the box for St. Louis. Ball played to Dayu. Dayu just shoved off that ball in the end. A legal fair challenge, I should say. But as a player in the box with the ball at your feet, got to be a little stronger. Of course, sometimes it's a matter of somebody communicating as well with the person with the ball. Not sure Dayu was even aware that Dixon was back there. Nevertheless, St. Louis once again with the ball. Sarajlia plays this out to the far side. Connor Lovell winning the throw-in for St. Louis. Renz. Give and go. Ball went to Renz momentarily. Parker Smith trying to find him another time, not able to do so. Ian Drake trying a tricky play, but instead, Torrent looking for yet another counterattack. Ball still alive for the Torrent. Dayu plays this in the middle. Ball comes back to Dayu. Nicely played from Kopp. Ball out to the far side. Dayu still on that off-the-ball run. Teammates not able to use him, and Torrent will reset, playing this ball all the way back to Shea Bailey. Kopp. Kopp had an early opportunity today. Ball was played right to his foot, about 6 or 7 yards from the goal. And while he did play it towards goal, took a bounce off the near post. And certainly one he will want to have back. But Torrent have not rested at all. Wearing those beautiful new blue home kits. Brand new this season. Dixon playing this ball back. Under heavy pressure was De Silva. And now Dixon just sending this one up and out to safety. Throw in for the Torrent. Nelson throwing this one into Ludwig. Ludwig has been a leader of this team. Shot! Piscaglia with a nice touch. Pereira De Silva with an even better save. Dixon sending this up to Drake. Drake looking to play this one in the middle. Once again, intercepted this time by LeCompte. Ludwig once again on the ball. My apologies to Lecomte as I kept missing the le in his name. St. Louis a little bit more patient. Torrent saying we don't want you to have that patience. And while Ian Drake was in an offside position and the near side AR did lift his flag in the end, it was a throw-in. That's the right decision by the referee to just let that be a throw-in. Nice move by Lecomte. Very active this first half is Lecomte. Sagnon with the throw-in for St. Louis. Plays this to Drake. Drake back to Sagnon. Now all the way back to Dixon. St. Louis certainly not afraid to play this ball back to their goalkeeper. Granted, not under pressure that time, but has certainly seen pressure. De Silva has. And speaking of pressure, here comes the Torrent once again. Misplayed, however. Dixon gets a touch, plays that up to Renzi. Ball now on the far side. My apologies, Renz. Warnod not called on much this game so far, but came off of his line there, rightfully so, picking that ball off the turf. And play continues here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. Overcast day today, much to the relief of the players. Starting tomorrow, it is going to be hot and humid in these parts. So these players will be very thankful that they're getting this game in tonight. Nice wind, not humid at all, 68 degrees. At least for my playing days, this was absolutely perfect weather to be out there. Dayu's been all over the field today. Sometimes looking like a center back, sometimes looking like a striker, sometimes looking like an attacking midfielder. This ball played in the middle. Dixon with the header. Goes straight out to Lecomte. And St. Louis once again plays this back to De Silva, who sends it forward. Shea Bailey there for the Torrent in the middle of the pitch. Dayu once again now on the far side plays this all the way back to Shea Bailey. Steps up, looks to play it forward. Instead, that is going to be intercepted by Sarajlia. Shea Bailey losing the ball momentarily, but does a nice job shielding that ball. And now plays this one up to Lecomte. Lecomte turns, loses the ball. Back to Dixon it goes. At times, feeling like a broken record today with how many times the ball gets played back to Dixon. And a lot of times then Dixon turns around and plays it back to De Silva. In this case, however, he looked to play it up to Sagnon. And now St. Louis looking to pressure in their attacking third. Ball in the box for St. Louis, played across. Warnod doing well to take a peek, making sure nobody was running on that far post. But the ball does go out of bounds. First corner kick of the day for Atletico. Very busy day here around Hart Park. It is Tosa Fest, festivities all around. Tough to get into the park today. As this ball is sent in. Torrent does well defensively. Kopp just sends that forward. Opportunity here. Martinez trying to turn his man. Instead, ball played all the way back from Van Buskirk to Pereira da Silva. St. Louis just trying to find a way behind that Torrent backline. Torrent very fluid. At times looking like they've got 2 back, then 3. This time looks like they've got 5. In some respects, a little bit of that total football that the Dutch introduced in the 70s. Shot. That'll be no trouble whatsoever for the Torrent goalkeeper. Now in the 30th minute of play, score remains 1-0 after that Alejandro Martinez strike in the 10th minute of play in favor of Milwaukee. Milwaukee with a full bench today if they do end up wanting to use a full 7 subs. St. Louis only with 4 today. Again, number of players hold that thought. Torrent in the box once again. Ball played out to Kopp. Kopp now in the channel. Looks to send it in the front of the goal. St. Louis trying to be patient with playing it out back. Instead, out of a bit of desperation, ball is just sent up and only goes as far as Corrigan. Corrigan under pressure from Drake. Taking a page out of the St. Louis book, playing it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Augie Warnod. Davis Nelson with a heads-up play, now finds his runner on the outside. That is Lecomte. Beats one man, brings it in the box, sends it across. Dayu! That will be a no from Da Silva, but a great play from Lecomte and Kopp with a beautiful switch of the fields to get that play started. Dayu playing this one up. Lecomte on the ball once again for Milwaukee. Nice step over, sends it in with his left foot at the 6. Dayu, too big of a touch, but Milwaukee still pressuring this St. Louis goal. Ball sent in again and headed out by Justiano. Lecomte. Dayu. Ball back to Dayu. Looking to play it to the 6th. Ball did look like it went out for a corner, but must have been out already. No complaints from the Torrent players. That's always when you know the ref got the call right.
Why don't you wait? Just do the next one. Like next few, go ahead.
Thanks again to FC Milwaukee Torrent's great sponsors for their support, including Family Operations Counseling LLC, Wisconsin Harley-Davidson and Oconomowoc, Pummel,
Pereira plays this out to Dixon. Pereira Da Silva. My apologies.
and Blackstone Handcrafted Natural Stone Products.
It's like the longest company name ever. I know.
Sarajlia.
Handcrafted natural stone products.
Dixon. Now sending this forward. Torrent playing so calm today. Looking to take advantage, which it's great to see them doing so. Could this be the game? Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but could this be the game that turns things around for Milwaukee? Now, granted, they are playing a team that is in 6th place, but also a team that has gotten a win over them earlier this year. And the losses that the Torrent have had this year, they've all basically been by 1 goal. So they've been keeping every game close. And now can they finally turn a close game into 3 points? Time will tell the rest of the way here at Hart Park in Wauwatosa. Thank you so much for joining us for this NPSL match. FC Milwaukee Torrent hosting Club Atletico St. Louis. Gateway Conference matchup. Torrent in 5th place. St. Louis in 6th. That was Taylor Pill near the end line, disappointed that he was not able to win a corner off of that.
That makes sense.
35th minute of play. Well, knock on wood, but so far should not have much in the way of stoppage time. No injuries, no subs. Ludwig. Sometimes trying to do just a little too much is Ludwig. Opportunity for Milwaukee once again. Well played defensively. Martinez was in the middle of that box, but now St. Louis looking for a counter. Strong play by number 40, Noah Corrigan, as he took that off the feet of Zach Renz. Renz, the captain for Atletico. Atletico also has a team in the Midwest Premier League. So along with having their NPSL team, they've got, like I said, the Midwest Premier League team, a few other teams as well. Number of the players on this team, by the way, having played for the famed youth club Scott Gallagher. Opportunity for Milwaukee. Martinez looking for a brace on the day. A wave of apology to Ludwig after that goal, or not goal, but after that attempt on goal. Wind starting to pick up a little bit. Again, still going from east to west. Obviously a wind that is fueled by Lake Michigan, not too far away from here. St. Louis perhaps too many times turning this ball back, resetting when they don't need to. Starts to get a bit predictable, knowing that ball is going to go back to Dixon, as Ricardo Garza has all 4 subs for St. Louis warming up in the corner now. Well, St. Louis has had perhaps officially a couple attempts on goal, but really, from what I recall, just one legitimate shot that tested Augie Warnod. But otherwise, it has been a half, for the most part, dominated by the Torrent. And just as I say that, Dayu in the left corner of your screen, trying to get past at least one player, looking for some support, doesn't get it, but applies pressure and wins the ball back. Dayu, trying to play that one on the 6, not able to do so. Now on the ball is Parker Smith for St. Louis. Ball kept in bounds by Dixon. And St. Louis, that will be a foul against Milwaukee, much to the dismay of Jamie Lecomte. We've mentioned it before on the broadcast, not this particular one, but congratulations to your center referee, Ryan Shanklin. Earlier this year, I believe it was in March, qualified for his national license as a referee. Huge accomplishment. No call on that one, as Paco Pescaglia still down. St. Louis doing the sporting thing of sending that ball out of bounds so Pescaglia can be looked at. Or perhaps that ball was already out, and as I was looking down at my notes, I missed it. Ludwig having a quick conversation with Shanklin. Obviously wanted to see that call. And that, in fact, was kicked out of bounds by Pereira da Silva in a sporting play. Torrent doing the right thing, playing it right back to the goalkeeper. And now game continues. You don't see that often anymore where teams play the ball out when they see an injured player, especially not when you're looking at games at the international level or first division level. But certainly at this level where it still really is in the end about development. Players looking to climb up the ladder. You do see a lot of that good sportsmanship in respect to injuries. I'm not saying you see good sportsmanship all over the place or every game at this level. But certainly at times like that where Torrent didn't have an opportunity to score, St. Louis didn't have an opportunity for a counterattack, just playing the ball out of bounds, making sure everybody's okay. Speaking of international play, Copa America coming up soon, but Euros already well underway. Record-setting score yesterday in that Germany-Scotland game. The most a team has ever lost by in the Euros out of all the years it's been played was 3 goals. Opportunity for St. Louis. Shot. Well played once again by the Torrent defense. We'll come back to that talk about the Euros in just a minute as things are heating up down on the Hart Park pitch. Shanklin looking to see if the Torrent had advantage, just not thinking that ball would have connected well with Dayu. Players, spectators, parents, coaches still getting used to it. It's been a couple of years now since that's been instituted, almost that hockey-like play where you wait to see what happens from the foul. So there is a delay. And personally, I absolutely love that. Rather than having to judge in a split second whether advantage is there or not, referees now allow teams at least a few seconds, sometimes a little bit more, to see if advantage does develop after the foul. Well, going back to the Euros, I was mentioning how in all the years that they have been played, the worst a team has ever lost by was 3 goals. And then the opening match yesterday, Germany taking on Scotland. Record-breaking loss as Scotland ended up losing that game 5-1. Opportunity for Milwaukee. Pereira da Silva pouncing on that one. And a fun fact about that game, although it was 5-1 in favor of Germany, Germany scored all 6 goals that game. Scotland getting an own goal. Of course, Scotland had to play a majority of that game down a man thanks to an early red card. And I will tell you, breaks my heart as I am of Scottish descent. I was wearing my Scotland jersey during that match. Got ugly quickly. And how about Spain today? Absolutely crushing Croatia. Croatia thinking they got a goal, but called back. That one late in the game. And your defending champions, Italy, taking down Albania 2-1. Offside call on the Torrent.
Same with Charlemagne. King starts at King Edward and then goes back to like William the Conqueror and people.
And Switzerland getting a very important 3 points on the day as well. They beat Hungary 3-1. Great first half from the Swiss, a little tough in the second. One of my best friends from high school, Sven Heuberger. We're still in contact today. He lives in Switzerland. And one of the coolest things about him and I is he was here in '94 when the U.S. played the Swiss in the World Cup. What a game that was, the 1-1 draw at the Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit. But I digress. We are officially in stoppage time, 46th minute. I'm not sure if, or I should say 45th minute plus to be official here. Did not see a signal from the fourth official, which either means there isn't much or perhaps just a minute. We shall see when Shanklin blows that whistle. Torrent, can they get one more before the second half, before going into halftime? They certainly are looking for it here. Ball played in the box. Ludwig, opportunity, goal! Alejandro Martinez! 35 seconds into first half stoppage. Martinez with the brace, thanks to a wonderful flick on from Ludwig. Here I am talking about how Ludwig seems to get a little too fancy at times, but that was all the fancy that was needed on that assist from Ludwig. And Torrent now up 2-0 for the first time this season, and what a time to do it. We were not sure if there would be much in the way of stoppage time, nor were the field players. So they decided, let's get a goal in before Shanklin blows that halftime whistle. Once again, Martinez with a brace, scoring the first in the 10th minute, and now here in first half stoppage. Well, St. Louis playing a bit of a high line. Torrent able to take advantage. Torrent have been pressing that line all game long. Did get called offside just a few minutes ago, and now able to take advantage was the Torrent, and that is your halftime whistle. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of stoppage time in this first half. Torrent goes into the locker room with the lead this first time all season long. Again, Martinez with the brace. Wonderful assist from Max Ludwig to make things happen here right at the end of the first half. Your score, FC Milwaukee Torrent 2, Club Atletico St. Louis 0. We're going to take 15 minutes for a break, and we will be back on the other side. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this live stream of FC Milwaukee Torrent hosting Atletico St. Louis. Score to start the second half, 2-0 in favor of Milwaukee. Foreign territory for them this season. After a brace in the first half from Alejandro Martinez. Martinez getting his first goal in the 10th minute of play, and then 30 seconds into first half stoppage for his second goal. Torrent looking to start the second half as they finish the first. But your center referee, Ryan Shanklin, blows the whistle for a foul. And a free kick for St. Louis. Just outside of their own area. Dixon tried to play this ball up, and Dayu had a very strong first half. Wins that ball back. And then it's sent out of bounds by the St. Louis defender. Still very breezy here. Didn't affect anything really in the first half. And other than perhaps corner kicks coming from that far side, I'm not sure if it'll be helpful at all to either team. I do see a couple of substitutes out there for Milwaukee. Entering the game at halftime was number 97, Javier Steinwasser, playing in that right forward position. St. Louis level on the ball, loses it to Milwaukee. And Sam Abreu, who just touched that ball, the other substitute for Milwaukee that I've tracked thus far. Abreu playing out of Lewis University. Played some junior college ball before that. Justiniano having played that ball back to Pereira da Silva. And Milwaukee, just as they did in the first half, wins the ball back again, playing this forward. This is Pill. Sends this ball in! Headed back, but once again, Milwaukee still in possession. St. Louis doing well to block every single shot Milwaukee attempts to take. And now St. Louis looking for an early counterattack here in the second half. Slip of the ball, and Abreu ends up with it. Dayu on the far side taking on Dixon. Cuts it into his right. Ball played up. Opportunity here for Lecomte. Lecomte near the end line. Plays it back. Shot! Steinwasser with a strong shot, but Da Silva finding it the entire way. And now plays this out to Drake. Drake fouled and then almost looked like his head hit the ground. Ties his hair back up, seems to be okay. Ball played back to Dixon. Dixon back to Pereira da Silva. Out to Sorber. Van Buskirk plays this down the line to Lovell. Lovell turns in. Looks to play it across. Instead, Shea Bailey getting in the way of that one. This ball just sent out into the stands. Throw in for St. Louis. Atletico feeling a bit of a change here. Definitely much more active in their attacking third at the start of the second half than they were at the start of the first half. Steinwasser sends this forward. Sorber taking on three Torrent players. Lost the ball momentarily. Now Shea Bailey gets a touch. Kopp sends this to the other side of the pitch. Ball played up to Dayu. Dayu with a nice turn. Gets past Dixon. Now plays this across. Misplayed by Piscaglia. Or I shouldn't say by Piscaglia. Piscaglia there waiting for the pass. Dayu just not connecting. And ball goes out, a throw-in for St. Louis. Once again, if you weren't with us for the first half of play, first half ended 2-0 as FC Milwaukee Torrent sits 1 point and 1 place above Atletico St. Louis in the Gateway Conference. Torrent in 5th place, St. Louis in 6th. Though the last time these two teams played, St. Louis got the better of Milwaukee. Milwaukee doing their best to return that favor today. So far, so good. Martinez, 2 goals in the first half. And that is how things stand here early in the second half. Steinwasser. Once again, miscommunication, this time between Abreu and Lecomte. Steinwasser doing well to bring that ball to the top of the 18. Playing it to the feet of Dayu. And Dayu just not able to connect then with Lecomte. Segnon trying to play that one up top, but instead goes right back to Milwaukee and then right back to St. Louis. And an errant pass from Atletico leads to a Milwaukee Torrent throw-in. Taylor Pill with the throw-in. Plays it back. Lecomte takes a peek up, plays it right back to Pill. Pill plays it down the line, this time to Piscaglia. Piscaglia having a little trouble in that corner. Another opportunity for him here. Turns past his man, looks to play it back. That will be a corner kick. Justiniano. Not sure he was even aware the ball was coming to him. Lucky to not score an own goal there, although I do believe Pereira da Silva had that post covered just in case. At a corner kick here. And just as the wind picked up at the start of this half, it has now died down as Pill sends this one into the box. Bicycle kick! Goal! What a goal by Paco Piscaglia. Beautiful bicycle kick. Probably one of the most calm bicycle kicks you'll see in a game. St. Louis players basically just standing there watching this happen. And Piscaglia says, "Thank you very much. I will take a bow." Torrent now leading 3-0. Substitution for Atletico St. Louis. Onto the pitch, Michael Howell wearing number 8 as he replaces number 18, Kyler Sorber. So again, number 8, Michael Howell getting onto the pitch for St. Louis. Renz takes on a few Torrent players, not able to get it past the final one. Easy foul called there as Abreu was taken down. Quickly played by Kopp as he plays this to the outside. Some nice play there by Davis Nelson. Nelson trying to split two defenders. Ball kept in. Torrent players not happy, but even from this angle, I have to say, as far away as I am, looked like the ball was still easily kept in by Ian Drake. Shea Bailey with a touch backwards. Well-timed pass from St. Louis. Not able to keep control of the ball on the far side, though, as Milwaukee ends up once again in possession of the ball. Well, the Torrent, from the first kickoff of the game, have pretty much dominated play today. St. Louis has had a couple of shots on goal. Really, though, nothing to speak of other than Warner being called on. Opportunity here for Milwaukee. Shot takes a bounce. I do believe this may be called back for offside. I did not see the number of the player was in the offside position, but I have a feeling the near side AR is going to say that he was in front of the goalkeeper, and even though he did not touch the ball, if you are blocking the goalkeeper's view, you are certainly involved in the play and will then be deemed to have caused an offside infraction. We will see what the final conversation is here. Near side AR today is Ryan Birdsall. And it looks like the goal will stand as Shakeland does eventually go to his pocket to write down the score. And a substitution here.
That's an FC Milwaukee Torrent goal.
We will see if we get confirmation of who it was that actually scored that goal. But another substitution for Atletico St. Louis going onto the field, Mateo Switzer. Switzer on this near side wearing number 7. As Daniel Dixon came off the field for St. Louis. Warner finally having to do some work here in the second half in the 59th minute of play. But Dixon obviously a defender being replaced by a midfielder in Mateo Switzer. Ricardo Garza hoping that St. Louis can get something going, at least offensively, as the Torrent are now up 4-0. Able to confirm with you, and sorry for the silence on the play-by-play. A little short-handed up here in the press box today. But Sam Abreu officially with that goal. I believe it was the 57th minute of play. But nevertheless, what matters in the end as the clock ticks over to the 61st minute is the Milwaukee Torrent are up 4-0. Again, Sam Abreu.
Euro record, right?
Alan's actually playing against them.
Are we playing him?
Sam Abreu with the 4th goal for the Torrent. Well, we talked about early on how the Torrent have given up early goals almost all season long, all but one game. And they have had to claw their way back into matches, as not only did they give up early goals, but they gave up multiple goals. So a lot of streaks being broken today for the Torrent, keeping a team held to 0 goals all the way into at least the 62nd minute of play. So not giving up that early goal, but also getting up first in a game for once. Even the 6-2 win they had against Belleville, they still ended up giving up the first goal in that game, and that in the 11th minute. So a lot of positives. And of course, the biggest positive is not only is FC Milwaukee up by 4 goals, they've deserved every single one of those. They have dominated this game. They've played some smart soccer out there today. And they are not taking the pedal off the gas here in this second half. Of course, as I was calling down, getting confirmation of that Abreu goal, Torrent almost getting a 5th one on the board. Did not come to pass, but won't be surprised if we do see another Torrent goal or 2 in this game. Well, taking a quick look over here at the chat session. Thank you for all the compliments on the production value of our stream, on my call. Very nice of you all to point that out. And by the way, if I'm butchering any names out there, feel free to correct me. Happy to try to make those corrections on the fly. Robert Gardetto, hello to you as well, sir. Thanks for chiming in. And for those of you asking for the name of our production company,
I put a comment in there.
just having a good time up here in the press box. Kevin O'Connor really is the man who is responsible for this beautiful stream that you are seeing. He does not get enough credit. If there were awards given out for stream producers, Kevin O'Connor would be tops, without a doubt. And quite a few of you chiming in from St. Louis. Thank you for joining us. In fact, really, when it gets down to it, the main reason we produce these streams are so the visiting fans are able to tune in and see how their team is doing. And speaking of St. Louis, another substitution for the Birds. Otto Sobo will be entering the field. And Sobo coming on here now in the 65th minute of play, as he replaces Parker Smith. Smith not involved as much in the second half as he was in the first, but I think that's mainly because, wow, a toppling of players. Thankfully, everybody's okay, but Speaking of Smith, first half, a lot of play went through him, and here in the second half, as it started 2-0, St. Louis coming out just playing a lot of balls from the back to the front, or at least trying to. And if not doing that, trying to play the ball from the outside, trying to use those channels. And naturally, you're just not going to use your center midfielder as much when you play like that. That's probably also why Ricardo Garza, head coach for St. Louis, made that change. Renz now standing over the ball for St. Louis. Sends this in. This will go over the end line. Goal kick for the Torrent. Torrent now making a substitution themselves. Coming on the pitch is Paul Sayas. And he will replace Brandon Kopp. Kopp may not be on the scoring sheet today, but my goodness, so much play happening through him. Just like we were talking about with Smith for St. Louis. Kopp making a lot of great off-the-ball runs. The heartbeat of the midfield today, easily, was Kopp.
Coming onto the field for FC Milwaukee Torrent, goal size.
Again, co-head coaches for the Torrent, James Weber and Jeff Pill, working together, making these substitutions. Credit to them for making some of these subs. Opportunity. Flag stays down. That is a substitution that I missed, as that was Vung. And now an opportunity! Goal number 5 on the day. Abreu with a brace of his own. Abreu with a shot from about 30 yards out. Easy to spot the yardage when you're looking at the American football lines out there. Wow. My, oh my, Abreu picked up his head, saw that he had an opening on that goal, took it, and ball goes into the back of the net. 68th minute goal. Martinez and Abreu both with braces today, and Torrent are not stopping. Once again, another opportunity. Ball still alive, goes out. Is that a corner or a goal kick? That is a corner kick for Milwaukee. Well, Vung, if I'm saying that correctly, that's one name I did not get a pronunciation guide for. With the assist officially, maybe Vong? Vung, we'll go with Vung. I'm going to trust my producer here, Kevin O'Connor. But what a delight for this crowd here today at Hart Park. And another corner kick for Milwaukee. Pill sends this one in, bounces around. Pereira da Silva, give him credit as he gets just enough of his hand to put that one over the crossbar. But another corner kick from the Torrent. Torrent scored their first goal off of a corner. Wasn't officially directly off the corner as the ball bounced around, but that is where it began. They've been dangerous all day, as we just saw there. As Taylor Pill will once again take this corner. Perfect spot once again. St. Louis does well to just knock it out. But that was only as far as Nelson, who plays this up to Steinwasser. Steinwasser not able to keep that in as St. Louis breathes a sigh of relief, if not momentarily, here in the 70th minute. Number of players on this Torrent team, all teammates or were teammates at Madison College. Certainly helps when you are so familiar with each other. That ball off the face. We will have to keep our eye. I believe that was Mateo Switzer who took that ball to the face. That was a pretty hard strike. Switzer shaking his head right afterwards and now grabbing his jaw. Certainly hope that young man is okay as he gives a thumbs up to Ricardo Garza. Well, it has been a delightful day here at Hart Park if you're an FC Milwaukee Torrent fan. Obviously just the opposite if you're an Atletico St. Louis fan. Strong tackle there. Again, easy call right in front of Shanklin. Done a very good job managing this game today, has Ryan Shanklin. Level sending this ball. Touched by Drake. And Shea Bailey just shields that one. Goes over the end line. Torrent goal kick.
Visit MilwaukeeTorrent.com for all the latest info on your FC Milwaukee Torrent. See the upcoming schedule, find out about camps and events, connect with the Torrent on social media, and check out the new online team store provided by Stephen Soccer Supply. The best place for Torrent fans to be anchored together, online at MilwaukeeTorrent.com.
And before I forget, wishing all of you fathers out there an early happy Father's Day. I will say certainly one of my favorite days of the year. Getting spoiled by my wife and daughters. Little humor on the field there. Steinwasser just being grabbed, took a look at the center referee to see if he was going to call anything. And eventually Shanklin did, and now you see Steinwasser and Lovell even having a laugh with each other. Lovell saying, yeah, I know I got him. I was just waiting for you to blow the whistle. And another substitution here for the Torrent as Taylor Pill leaves the pitch. On goes Finley Skilling. Shea Bailey doing well to keep this one in bounds. Gets past a couple of St. Louis players. Tries to send this up to Steinwasser. Ball intercepted. Some nice footwork from Switzer. Not able to get that across the field, however. And the Torrent looking again at another counterattack. Dayu plays this out to Steinwasser. Steinwasser sends this one in the middle. That looked like a handball. It was not called. No complaints from the Torrent players. As the lights come on here at the stadium as we enter the final quarter hour of play. St. Louis now with the free kick from what could be a dangerous place for the Torrent. No surprise that Zach Renz, captain of the team, initially steps up to this ball. As Shanklin walks off the 10 yards for the Torrent wall. St. Louis with all but two players up. One of those players, of course, being the goalkeeper. We'll see if Renz floats this one to the far side. No, instead Played here to the near side. Wren's not even touching it. A little bit of a fake play, and Warnod tripped up as he's running forward. And Shanklin will reach to his pocket. Looks like a yellow card will be issued here to Nicholas Justiniano. And that is indeed the case. And on this stoppage of play, another substitution as Andy Mujez well, let me try that again, my friends. Mujezanovic comes onto the field. And Ian Drake, tough day for him today. What I mean by tough day, in my opinion, he played quite well, just didn't have a lot of support. Anytime he'd get the ball and pick his head up, just didn't have anybody to go to. And so many times he had to try to do things all by himself. Certainly earns a rest. And perhaps Ricardo Garza just wanting to get his final substitution in the game and giving one of your workhorses a break. Buskirk plays this forward with the touch is Sobo. Torrent, like they've done so many times today, wins it back. But Abreu not able to keep hold of it. Well, ball just changing feet back and forth on the far side in a space of about 5 yards. Eventually goes out of bounds, throw-in now for St. Louis. Well, this will push Milwaukee up to 8 points, bringing them momentarily even with Des Moines United FC. Des Moines and Milwaukee have played both games against each other this year. A 2-2 draw here in Milwaukee and then a 3-3 draw down in Des Moines. So Milwaukee moves to 8 points. Des Moines already on 8 points, but Des Moines, that'll be 5 games, and for Milwaukee, it'll be 6 games. Shea Bay played to Stein Washer. Offside. That will not count. It was almost as Steinwasser knew he was offside as he got the ball and kind of lightly tapped it towards the goal, then didn't hear a whistle, so played it one more time. And at that point, our center referee did take a look at the AR and realized that was offside on the initial touch. But we'll see if Milwaukee can stay tied with Des Moines United in that 4th spot after Des Moines plays their 6th game. And on the field now for Milwaukee, Juan Lopez, as he replaces, speaking of workhorses, Zachariah Deo. Deo, by the way, plays at Division II Northwest Nazarene. Up and down the pitch, all over the pitch today was Deo. Well-deserved rest for the final 11 minutes of regulation time anyways. I see Paula Comte commenting about Logan Fye doing a great job at Madison College, and I need to echo that sentiment. Logan Fye actually played with the Torrent for a couple of years, was certainly one of the originals. Strong player who played his college ball at Wisconsin Lutheran College, was an assistant coach there for a number of years. Moved over to Madison College and coaching both the women's and men's teams there. and doing a fantastic job. Always a challenge when you're at a junior college and you only get 2 years. The turnover is so quick in junior colleges. But Phi doing a great job. Excited to see where he takes both of those programs. Ball played back to Warnod. Noah Corrigan, one of the players that looks like he'll go the full 90 today. I have not been keeping track of how many substitutions the Torrent have used. Not sure if they're at their maximum of 7. But what I do know is that the next time the Torrent plays will be the 18th against the Wisconsin Conquerors. That is an away game. But their next home game, June 22nd, taking on Geel's Lions at 7 p.m. And as far as the Torrent women, they are on the road tomorrow, the 21st, and the 23rd. They will then return home on June 26th, taking on newly minted WPSL club, Chicago House. Of course, Chicago House has had a men's team for 2 or 3 years now, but this is the first year with a women's team. So again, Torrent women return to Hart Park June 26th, that game at 7 p.m. The men, 4 days before that, June 22nd, taking on Geo's Lions at 7 p.m. The Lions, I was wondering why they were called Geo's Lions. And sad story, in some ways a sweet story. The reason they are named Geo's Lions, they were first called Lions FC, or SC rather. Player goes down for St. Louis. And now an opportunity here for Milwaukee. This one in the box, right to the goalkeeper. Juan Lopez will want that one back. Many places to put that ball. Unfortunately, the only place it goes to is the keeper's hands. Maybe a little bit of a shove there on that play. But again, we're in the 83rd minute. Torrent is up 5-0. Lopez with another opportunity on the outside of the box in this near channel. Plays it back to Shea Bailey. Shea Bailey plays that in the box. Milwaukee, that will not be any trouble for Pereira da Silva, as Saez looked for his own shot. Now, we did have 3 goals so far in this half. Not sure if that will lead to much stoppage time. And now a yellow card for unsporting behavior. That one going against Paul Saez. Saez puts his hands up in disbelief.
FC Milwaukee Torrent, yellow card. Corey Saez.
Well, you could argue that yellow card was either given for unsporting behavior or what is known as SPA, stopping a promising attack. That a bit of a cynical foul, but no card given on that one as play continues. Torrent go with a quick free kick. Another opportunity for Milwaukee. Nice slide from Pereira da Silva. And now play continues once again. And this game starting to get a bit rough out there. Steinwasser taken down. And while Justiniano pleads his case to Shanklin. Unbelievably, the referee's mind is not changed. Of course, I say that with tongue-in-cheek. Another free kick here for Milwaukee. 86th minute of play as Milwaukee looks to close out their second win of the year, gaining some revenge against St. Louis after losing a week ago to the same team 3-2.
That was an interesting game. They got rain delayed, like a thunder delay or lightning delay in the middle.
Ball sent in, headed down by the St. Louis wall. Shoulder-to-shoulder play. Juan Lopez winning that ball and called for a foul. Quick taken by Renz. Ball played across the field now. Or I should say worked across the field to be more accurate with that description. Another opportunity for Milwaukee. Steinwasser plays this. Goal! Lopez with the assist from Steinwasser. Milwaukee now up 6-0. Lopez with a few opportunities since he has come on, and that one he easily puts away. Give credit to Steinwasser for being completely unselfish. He very easily had an opportunity on goal, but instead of putting it away himself, sends it across the goal to a wide open Lopez. And Lopez getting the fourth goal of the second half, sixth goal overall. Well, at this point now, all goalkeeper Augie Warnard wants is his first shutout on the year. Under 3 minutes left to play, plus whatever stoppage we have. Shea Bailey heading this one back to the aforementioned Augie Warnard.
It's a good win for goal differential, too.
The Torrent started this game a +2 on goal differential. Currently at +8. We'll see what happens here. St. Louis desperately trying to find an opportunity in the Milwaukee box, but Torrent players just swarming on that St. Louis attack. We talked about how the Torrent, should this game end as it is, will be at +8, having started the day at +2. Club Atletico St. Louis, well, they'll drop from -5 to -11, having now given up 20 goals on the year. As this ball goes out of bounds, throw in for Milwaukee. Torrent in not much of a hurry to take this throw in. And some gamesmanship here now from the Torrent, time wasting. Lecomte giving the ball up to Shea Bailey after a, well, shall we say, interesting conversation about who's going to take the throw-in. Milwaukee looking for their 7th goal today. If you are just joining us, we are in the final minute of regulation. And then whatever time Shanklin adds to the clock, certainly a number of substitutions in the second half, 4 goals. There could be a case for probably 3 minutes of stoppage, but usually in this case and in this league, when a team is leading by so much, it's not surprising to see the whistle blow pretty close to the 90th minute. And we are 3 seconds away from that time of the game. And we are officially in stoppage time. Have not seen any indication, although Shanklin just put the whistle in his mouth. Not sure if that meant he's going to call it or if he was anticipating more time wasting and getting ready to get these players to move on. Nice flick over his head and bringing the ball back down. Saez. And now we officially got the indication of 1 minute, which we are basically at right now. So this will probably be the final opportunity for St. Louis. Ball sent in. Warnod jumps on that, and that will do it. FC Milwaukee Torrent winning their second game of the year, and in quite a fashion. 6 goals into the St. Louis net, and getting his first shutout game of the year. Augie Warnard, goalkeeper for FC Milwaukee Torrent. He was not called on much, especially in the second half, but the times he was, he did what he was supposed to do. But give credit all around to this FC Milwaukee Torrent team today. Moved the ball well, took advantage of every single opportunity. James Weber and Jeff Pill came in with a game plan, and the players executed almost without flaw today. Couple of braces on the day. Martinez and Abreu each with a goal. Juan Lopez with the final goal of the game. And that is how things will finish up today. Again, shorthanded here in the press box, but certainly having a ton of fun. Always easy to have fun when the team you're calling games for puts 6 in the back of the net. And folks, if you're in Milwaukee and tuning in to this broadcast, make sure you join us in person as the Torrent takes on Geo's Lions, top of the table in the Gateway Conference. That game June 22nd with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. We'll see if the Torrent can come out as strong for that one as they did today. Certainly hope, if you're a Torrent fan, that this is the game the Torrent needed to really change things around. A near-perfect performance from front to back. 6 goals, all 3 points, shutout on the day. You can't ask for any more than that. Want to thank all of you for joining us on this live stream. To all of you commentating along with us, thank you so much. It's been our absolute pleasure to have you with us. Congratulations to FC Milwaukee Torrent, tied at least momentarily for 4th place in the Gateway Conference. We'll see what the rest of the year looks like. Once again, thank you for joining us. On behalf of everybody here at FC Milwaukee Torrent, including Kevin O'Connor and Mike Justman, my name is Simon Provan. Hey, we'll see you next time.